that Ananda built, that also talks about something, somebody staying back and somebody leaving. Yeah.
It was quite connected. The both the movies, the first movie, the change of time, people leaving from one place to another, not only as in a location but as in an era of leaving, the lives are changing. And second, also in a very similar when more times people are migration, all those stuff it was talking. So yeah, I did find it good.
The house that Ananda built it talks about the caste equation in a subtle way. In fact, it ends like he wishes to be born as a Brahmin in the next, you know. So which little bit has a connection with my film also. There is a caste equation in my films also.
Casted on television?
No, except for NDTV, which has a 1 hour slot once a week. No television televises documentaries. So it was not. It was screened in five to six film festivals, including the Kerala Film Festival, including in MIF. It was in the competition section. It was shown in Prague Indian Film Festival and a couple of other film festivals. Yeah, that's about it. It was screened here and there, film societies, interested parties. It was screened in some architectural colleges. So there's an architectural angle to this. So it was screened there. Television screen, no.
The homes, it was written that they were rebuilt on 2010. Are they inhabited right now?
No, as the film suggests, it's a heritage. It's called the Heritage Village, where more than 30 houses are there, and there are a couple of occasions where the man who is responsible for that heritage village says it's locked, and the children are not allowed, it's a museum, He says, in fact, there is a quote. He says, "It's a museum is a collection of dead objects." That's what he says. It's like that's what in the curator note. It's fossilized. The past, the life itself is fossilized. It's complete. In the first film, Ananda is still there. Ananda is still there. That life is still there. By the end of the third film, it's gone. It's dead and buried, and it's fossilized. That kind of a thing. They are not inhabited. I mean, it's the museum. It's still locked. If you go to a place, the Manipal is a place. You know Manipal. It's an educational setup. Pardon? Yeah. If you go there, it's always locked. So unless you have to contact him and then pressurize him to open to have a look and then those kinds of things.
Does it belong to an individual or is it?
See, this person, Vijaynath Shenoy, has been collecting items, old items for the last 40 years. He's like, it's his passion. So they formed, finally, there's a group of people called the Pai. There was a TMA Pai was a finance minister in Indira Gandhi's time. He was there. He is from Manipal.
They're responsible for the bank also.
Banks and the educational institutes and the medical schools and stuff like that. They gave him some land, not him. They formed a trust and they provided some land in which these 30 buildings, the houses are relocated, and which Miyar House is one of them.
Miyar House is the name of the house or the place?
Miyar is a place. So we used to call Miyar House, okay. Miyar Mane. In Kannada, Miyar Mane. So Miyar House. It became so I put the title as Miyar. Miyar is a place actually. Miyar, it's around, from Manipal and Udupi, it's around 1.5 hours. There's a place called Karkala. You have this huge naked Bahubali structure there. It's quite close there. It's 1.5 hours from Udupi in Karnataka. No, that is around Belgoda. There's one Bahubali in Karkala also, which is a smaller Bahubali. It's near there.
Yeah, I'm curious about your personal journey through the film because it felt like you had a lot of connection with all the events there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I'm asking. How was it? How did you, like you said, it took 7 or 8 years to change. How did you, edit, and how did you view it after 8 years?
See, as I told you, I just shot. The whole purpose was the house was dismantling, and I have to shoot that, document that. That was the purpose. So as I told, I got some opportunity, time, and then I started editing it, and then I found that it went beyond myself, personal self. Although this is a story about my journey, basically. What is important, so important about my journey, What is so important at that? Then it went beyond. When I edited it and assembled it, then I thought it went beyond me. You know, it says about almost the story of migration on the previous century. You know, I thought, and then I thought, okay, there's a film here, and then it became easier for me to edit. Then after that, when I got the hook of the film, it became easier for me to edit that. So in a sense, it has been it's been an, what do you call? It's been a journey, quite a journey actually for me. How do you relate the film in between, the fiction film? I want to, because M.S. Prakash Babu, as I told you earlier, is a product of Shantiniketan, and he works with the Times of India as an illustrator. And he has made 4 or 5 short films out of his own money. Now, out of his own money, he's made a feature film, you know, which no one wants to buy or something like that. And he has this visual element throughout this film, and he works with sound and in the offbeat films of India, his films are offbeat films, you know. So how do you place that? How do you, for example, as a young guy?
I said that I was quite taken back. The audio visuals, which was a standard deviation from the normal kind of films that we see. But however, I did think that it did go well with the theme of this day. I liked it. I liked all the 3 actually. My favorite was the first one, but still I liked all the 3.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying back.